Still waiting in line? Again? That's time you'll never get back. Save time and money with Stamps.com. Over 4 million businesses have skipped the line with Stamps.com. Join them to save up to 90% off carrier rates from your computer or phone right now. Print postage for certified mail, registered mail, and packages in seconds. Then schedule a pickup right from your home or office. For a limited time, go to Stamps.com and use code PODCAST for a free welcome gift. Taxes and fees apply.
Welcome to The Bridge, the show that bridges the gap between Eastern and Western medicine, science and spirituality, physical and energetic health. If you're a leader seeking to heal from within, ultimately achieving the pinnacle of health and well-being for your mind, body, and spirit, then rest assured, this show is tailored just for you. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Rogers, the Sherlock Holmes of health. I'm a trailblazing Harvard-trained epidemiologist turned transformational health coach. Basically, I find the clues that every other healthcare practitioner missed because they were looking in the wrong place. Welcome to today's episode of The Bridge, a transformational health podcast with yours truly, Dr. Elizabeth Rogers. I am so happy to be here with you all, connecting with you today again, podcast family. When I come here to record, can I tell you, it's truly my favorite thing that I do. And I always have the best energy just pouring out of me and overflowing when I come here to connect with you all. And that has everything to do with all of you. So I want you to know how deeply connected I feel to all of you. And I hope that as you continue to connect with me on the show, that you will feel that connection growing too. And speaking of energy, that's exactly what I want to talk with you about today in this very short, brief episode. You know, it's my goal on this podcast to provide for you the most extraordinary, supportive, special, heartfelt experience around the thing I think is most important and valuable to each and every one of us. And that is your health and well-being. And I want to provide a wide range of experiences for you on this show. I want to present you with the most transformative knowledge, wisdom, and expertise, both through my own experience, knowledge, and wisdom, and through that of my extraordinary guests that I bring onto the show. And I also want to present to you a lot of different topics. So there's really nothing on this show that's going to be off limits related to health and well-being. And one of the things that I really want to present to you are short, digestible, consumable episodes like this one. So I really hope that you enjoy it. These you'll be able to catch and just squeeze in whenever you've got a couple of minutes or you're just taking a walk around the block to break up your day. And I'm really excited to talk to you about one of the topics, maybe if not the topic that I love the most. I know I say I love root causes the most, but energy might be the topic that I love just as much, if not more. And that is because you are energy. Everything you do, everything you are, it's all energy. And this is not opinion. It is scientific fact. So if this is new to you or it's just hard to wrap your brain around at this point in time, then know that you're hearing this for a reason and you're learning this at this point on your journey for a reason. But that's the truth. You are energy. And I want to talk to you today about the way that you use energy. So keeping in mind that you are energy, and I've discussed this already on this show when I talked to you about your health equation. So if you're new to the show, I strongly recommend you go all the way back to the beginning and start from the first episode and enjoy this extraordinary experience, because my perspective on health and well-being is very unique compared with that of, I think, most, if not all, other professionals that do anything related to health and healing, and definitely unique as a research scientist. That's for darn sure. But you are energy. That's what you started as. You could not exist as a three-dimensional body and being without energy, because energy is what created and creates everything you're staring at in the mirror, everything you're watching, everything. It's all energy. And I don't think that we think enough about that. There are a lot of practitioners that really just focus on the physical aspect, the three-dimensional aspect of your health and well-being. And then there are a lot of practitioners that focus just on the energetic aspect or the fifth dimensional aspect of your health and well-being. But I bridge the gap between both, and I integrate both perspectives because I truly believe that that is how we create and then just be optimally healthy and well. And that is how we have optimal health and longevity. So I'm not just a Harvard trained researcher, epidemiologist, health and longevity doctor. I'm a master medical intuitive, Reiki practitioner, dowser, spiritual healer. I'm an expert in holistic and natural approaches, non-conventional approaches, and I love bridging the gap between those two worlds. And it gives me such a unique way of being able to serve you and support you with your health and well-being because I can see and sense things that most other practitioners can't. And I will never stop pushing the boundaries and limits of my training to be able to do that for you. So I want to talk to you about energy. And my hope is that in offering you this little frame shift and new perspective on energy and the way that you're using it, that maybe this will help some of you out there who recognize that the reason you're not optimally healthy and well, that you're not feeling your best, to some degree has everything to do with you, right? Because nobody but you is responsible for creating the health and well-being that you desire. But so many people have a difficult time fully aligning with that, right? And when I say aligning, as you may know, if you listen to this show regularly, I view your health and well-being as your natural state. It's not something that exists outside of you, that's external to you that you must go out and get or make. It's something that you are. And when you are in alignment, mind, body, and spirit, when you are connected, mind, body, and spirit, then you are aligned with your natural state, which is health. And so that's why my perspective on your health is that it's an equation. And I've talked about this on prior episodes. So if this is new to you and you've never heard me discuss this, definitely go back, start from the beginning, and catch the episodes where I talk about your unique health equation, which is related to Einstein's equation, E=mc². You are energy and you are physical matter all at the same time. So given that, this occurred to me very recently, and my husband said, you need to share that. And so that's exactly why I'm recording this episode, because if he found it of value, then somebody out there, probably a lot of you will too. And the frame shift I want to offer you is this. It costs you just as much energy to be healthy and to do the things you need to do to have optimal health and well-being as it does to be unhealthy, to do the things that I know so many of you are doing and that even if you won't admit it externally to the world, deep down are one or more of the reasons why you are not feeling your best. So everything you are, everything you're being, everything you're doing, everything you're feeling, first of all, is energy. And second of all, is using energy, sourcing energy from you. And I think a lot of us have the perspective from the behavioral change side of things, right? Research shows that people are able to temporarily make healthy changes, but they have difficulty maintaining and sustaining them in the long term. Why is that? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. One of them is identity, but this show's about energy. And I think there may be a perspective out there that it's harder and therefore would use more energy to make the healthy choice, do the healthy thing, be the healthy person than it is to continue doing the unhealthy behavior, making the unhealthy choice, being unhealthy or just simply out of alignment with our optimal health and well-being in some way, whether it's mind, body, spirit, whether it's through our actions, whether it's through our thinking, whether it's through just who and how we're being. It costs you just as much energy to be healthy as it does to not be healthy. So why not choose to be healthy? That choice is using energy. And that choice is directing your energy and your intention toward being healthy. So when you go through your day, I wonder how many of the choices you're making are you consciously aware of are helping you be healthy, feel your best, create optimal health and longevity, versus those choices you're making that are counterproductive to that are knocking you out of alignment, that are not helping you be healthy, feel healthy, that are not doing the healthy things. I think to some degree, we all do that, right? I have for many years. And on this show, I'll tell you every single story and every single mistake I ever made. And I don't care what anyone thinks about it, because the truth, my friends, will set you free. And I hope in some way it helps me connect with all of you and you can relate. Now, I offered this perspective to my husband and I said, it costs just as much energy to be healthy as it does to not. So why not just be healthy? But then the more I thought about it, the more I realized that it actually may be costing you more energy to work against yourself, to not be healthy, to not do all the things you know deep down that you need to do to feel your best, to be your healthiest. And here's why. Because when we grow, when we evolve, when we improve, when we make new choices, we actually get to transmute some of the energy that we were using toward the unhealthier choice, the old choice, the old pattern, the old behavior. And sort of like a flower losing its petals, we get to change that energy's form, and that energy gets to be transmitted into something new. And in a way, that energy gets to be reborn again through us and gets to serve us instead of standing in our way. So I want to offer you this perspective today, because maybe you're somebody who has had a hard time getting out of your own way. And when you're doing something that's not the healthiest choice. And I want you to remember, even if your brain is telling you that's because the healthier choice is going to be harder, it's not going to be as easy, that's just your brain. Your energy knows, your feelings, your heart, they know, your soul knows what you really need. And that being healthy is actually simple. So if you're struggling, maybe this is all you need to hear to realize, it does use the same amount of energy. And maybe it is costing me more energy to just not make a change, to just not get out of my own way. So why don't I just stop it? Why don't I just stop it? Why don't I just get out of my own way? I hope that this helps. I love energy and I love talking about it. So we will talk much more about this topic. But I want you to remember that energy is what you are, and you get to decide how you're going to use it. I'm sending you all off today with so much love, gratitude for being here with me, and positive energy. And I want you to know, when I send energy, I've said this before, I send it with intention. And so if you're open, then you will feel it. And even if you don't feel it, you will receive it. And it will serve you. So I really hope you can feel it. I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to today's episode of The Bridge, a transformational health podcast with Dr. Elizabeth Rogers. To learn more about my work and ways you can get support to transform your own health, head to my website, drelizabethrogers.com. Don't forget, Rogers has a D and a G. You can find a link in the show notes too. I hope you can feel the big boost of positive energy I'm sending all around right now. Can't wait to connect with you on the next episode.